Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to Madam Nur Hayati and friends. My name is Cik Enku Syami Farihin bin Cik Enku Sharifan, and my matrix number is 2026100641. Today, me and my group members from Team 7, Zero Balance, will be presenting our financial and operational audit for Petals2U Florist. This assignment is for the code subject ACC407 for the subject Fundamental Financial Accounting and Reporting. And we will try our best to explain what we found. Okay, so let's start. So first, let me introduce you to our team members. We have 5 members in Team 7. On the left, we have Amshana Jahan, and then Nur Shazwani Inani, Nurul Nazira, Azrin, and me myself, Cengku Syami Farhin. We all contributed to this project and worked together to collect the data and prepare this presentation. We hope our findings will give a clear picture about this business. Okay, for today's presentation, we have 6 main parts. First, we will talk about the business background, then the characteristic of the business. After that, classification of business items, followed by the strength and weakness we found during the audit. And lastly, we will give a conclusion and our reference. We will go one by one so it's easy to follow. Okay, now we move on to the first part, which is the business background. This is where we explain the basic info about Petals2U Florist that we got from our interview and observation. So, the name of the business is Petals2U Florist, and the tagline is Your Ideal Floral Designer. It's located at Puncak Alam, Selangor. The exact address is Lot 1G47, tingkat bawah, Central View Service Apartment, Block A, Pusat Perdagangan Alam Jaya 42300, Puncak Alam. We chose this business because it's near our area and it's a small business, so it's suitable for our audit project. And at the next slide, I will show you their physical shop. Okay, next, for the type of business, Petals2U Florist is a sole proprietorship. That means it's owned by one person and the owner has full control of the business. For the business activity, it's a service-based business. Their main service is floral arrangement. They do bouquets for birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, and also decorations for office and corporate events. You can see from the picture, they make a lot of different types of bouquets depending on what the customer wants and how the customer want their flower to custom. And also, you can see their physical shop and they display their bouquets outside. Okay, now some details about the owner and the business. The owner of Petals2U Florist is Mr. Amirullah bin Khalid. He's the one who manages everything in the shop. For the capital, the amount is private and confidential, but the range is around 10,000 ringgit to 30,000 ringgit. What's good is the business does not have any loan, so they are not burdened with debt right now. They also have 3 employees helping Mr. Amirullah to run the daily operations like making the bouquets and handling customers. So, we move to the next presenter.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Azrin binti Aznil and my matrix number is 2026104355. So on this part, I will explain about the business characteristic of Petals2U. Before that, business characteristic basically means the features that describe how a business operates and how it is managed. Petals2U operate as a sole proprietorship business. A sole proprietorship business means that the business is owned and managed by only one person. So for Petals2U, there are several business characteristics such as ownerships, registrations, profit and loss, management and control, liability, capital, and books and accounts. So first, I would like to explain about registration. In Malaysia, every business must register before operating legally. For sole proprietorship businesses, the registration is done with Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, or also known as SSM. Petals2U is officially registered with SSM, which means the business is legally recognized in Malaysia. The registration certificate also helps increase customer trust because customers knows the business is officially registered and operates legally. Next is ownership. Ownership refers to who owns the business. For Petals2U, the business is owned by one person only. This means the owner manages the business independently and makes all decisions by themselves. For example, the owner decides the flowers designs, pricing promotions, and business strategies. Because there is only one owner, decision making becomes faster and easier compared to larger businesses. For profit and loss, as we know, in a sole proprietorship business, all profits earned belongs fully to the owner. For Petals2U, profits are earned from services such as bouquet arrangement, wedding flowers, and event decorations. So all incomes and profits will go directly to the owner. However, if the business experiences losses, the owner also has to bear the losses personally. Next is limited capital. Capital refers to the money used to start and operate the business. For Petals2U, the capital mainly comes from the owner's own savings and personal resources. This shows that the business is independently managed and controlled by the owner without relying heavily on external parties. The owner carefully plans the business spending and uses the available capital wisely to manage daily operations smoothly. Besides that, using personal capitals also allows the owner to have full controls over the business decisions, including pricing, product designs, and marketing strategies. This helps the business maintain its own creativity and unique identity in the market. Therefore, limited capital does not stop Petals2U from growing, but instead encourage the business to manage its finances more carefully and efficiently. Next is limited capital. Capitals refers to the money used to start and operate the business. For Petals2U, the capital mainly comes from the owner's own savings and personal resources. This shows that the business is independently managed and controlled by the owner without relying heavily on external parties. The owner carefully plans the business spending and uses the available capital wisely to manage daily operations smoothly. As for management and control, these characteristics means the owner has full authority to manage the business operations. For Petals2U, the owner controls activities such as flower selection, bouquet arrangements, customer service, and marketing. Since the owner manages everything directly, it is easy to maintain the quality of the products and services. Next is liability. It is known as unlimited liability since Petals2U operates as a sole proprietorship business. Unlimited liability means the owner is personally responsible for all business matters, including debts and financial obligations related to the business. In Petals2U, the owner manages and controls the business independently while handling operations and financial activities under the business. This characteristic is commonly found in sole proprietorship business because the business and the owner are considered as one entity.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Nur Hayati binti Muhammad Nur. My name is Amshan Ajahan bin Muhammad Isa, Nominated 202-691-7655 and form program BA 270. I will continue this presentation about the classification of business item for Petals2U Enterprise. Business item are divided into 5 main categories, which is asset, liability, capital, revenue, and expenses. These categories are important because they help business organize financial information and understand their financial position clearly. Asset refer to resources owned by the business that help generate income. Liability are debts or obligations that needs to be paid. Capital is the owner investments used to start and operate the business. Revenue is the income in from the business activity, while expenses are the costs incurred to run the business. Next, let us look at the current asset. Assets are all the resources owned by Petals2U that are used to run the business and generate income for flower arrangement service. Current assets are assets that can be used, sold, or converted into cash within 1 year. These assets are important for daily business operation. Example of current assets include flower stock, ribbon and wrapping papers, and cash in hand. Flower stock is the main inventory used for the boutique and flower arrangement service. Ribbon and wrapping paper are material used for packaging and decoration boutique. Meanwhile, cash in hand is used for daily transaction and operational expenses. These assets help ensure the business operates smoothly every day. Now, let us move to non-current assets. Non-current assets are long-term assets used for business operation for more than 1 year. These assets are more no means for immediately sales but are used continuously to support the business. These are 3 types of non-current assets, which is a tangible asset, intangible asset, and investment or financial assets. Each category plays an important role in helping the business operate efficiently, building its brand image, and strengthen financial stability. Firstly, tangible assets are the physical assets that can be seen and touched. Example include the flower rack, display shelf, chiller, air conditioner, computer, printers, and CCTV system. Flower rack and display shelf are used to organize and display flower arrangement neatly to attract the customer. The chiller is the importance to maintain the freshness and quality of the flowers. The air conditioner creates a comfortable environment and help preserve the flowers. Besides that, the computer and printer are used to administrative work such as the recording cells and printing documents. Lastly, the CCTV system improves the shop security and helps monitor the business area. The tangible assets are very important because they support the daily operation of the business. Next are intangible assets. Intangible assets are non-physical assets that cannot be touched but still provide value to the business. Example include the Petals2U logo and brand names, as well as social media accounts such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The logo and brand name help customers recognize the business and create a strong brand identity. Meanwhile, social media platforms are used to promote the product, communication with customers, and increase online visibility. These assets help strengthen the company reputation and attract more customers. Lastly, we have investment or financial assets. Investment are long-term financial resources owned by the business to strengthen the financial position and support future growth. For example, Petals2U manage investment saving using the public goal. The investment is used to as a financial preparation for future business expansion and long-term financial security. Investments are important because they help the business prepare for future opportunities and reduce financial risk. Liabilities refers to debts or financial obligations that needs to be paid by a business in the future. In accounting, liabilities are important because they show the financial responsibility of a business and help determine its financial positions. Liabilities are divided into 2 main categories, which are current liability and non-current liability. Firstly, current liability are short-term obligations that must be settled within 1 year. The first example is account payable. Account payable refers to amount owed to supplier for goods or service purchased on credit. These payments are usually made within a short period based on the agreed payment terms. The next example is the utility bills, such as electricity, water, internet, and telephone bills. These expenses need to be paid regularly to ensure smooth daily operation. Another example is short-term loans. These are loans that need to be repaid within less than 1 year and are usually used for temporary financial needs or cash flow purpose. The last example under current liability is salary payable. This refers to employee salaries that have been earned but not yet paid by the company. Next, let us move to non-current liability. Non-current liability are long-term obligations that are payable over a period of more than 1 year. The first example is the bank loans. Business may obtain bank loans to support expansions, purchase assets, or finance long-term projects. The next example is hire purchase liability. This refers to asset purchase through installment payment over a long-term periods. Another example is long-term business loans, which are usually used to major investments and future business development. Based on the information shown, Petals2U currently operation with zero active liability. This means the business does not have any bank loans or outstanding debts. In addition, all supplier payment and employee salaries are paid immediately without delay. This situation shows that the business has the good financial management, stable cash flow, and strong financial discipline because all the financial obligations are settled on time. Next, I will pass these presentations to Nurul Nazira to continue. Thank you.
My name is Nur Nazira bint Abdul Aziz, matric number 2026106085. I'm going to present about the capital. Capital is physical asset that used to produce goods. As you can see, the image that shows the inventory tools as a durable asset that used for the long term to running the business. This can be a resource utilized to create goods and services that include human capital, which is the skills and the knowledge and the workforce. Capital is the money contributed by business owner to start a business. For Petals2U, the capital is used to buy flower, bouquet, accessories, packaging materials, and another business necessity. Next, we're going to move on to the expenses. Expenses are regular, non-negotiable costs that require to operate physical location and the costs that incurred by the business to operate the company. Expenses are the costs that Petals2U must pay to keep its floral business running, things like rental, utilities, salaries, transportation, flower purchase, maintenance, Wi-Fi, equipment, insurance, and decoration. They present the outflow of money needed to operate day to day, and they reduce the revenue earned to show the business actual profit. There are 6 types of expenses. First is rental expenses, second is utility expenses, salary expenses, transportation expenses, Wi-Fi expenses, flower expenses, maintenance expenses, and the last list is equipment expenses. Now we move on to the first expenses, which is premise. Premise that rental by the Petals2U. Premise rental expenses that Petals2U rent for the business operation. This picture show the premise. It called as a fixed expenses where the cost they expend remain the same regardless of the product or sale. Next is the utilities expenses. Utilities expenses were called as operating expenses, which is OPEX. That day-to-day costs that required to run the business that are not tied directly to the production, such as electric and water bills. This shows the bill of the Petals2U premise. Next is the salary expenses. Salary expenses are benefit compensation business that pay to the employee in exchange for their services, typically agreed upon as an early amount. It includes basic pay allowance, like housing or cost of living, and bonuses. It is recorded as operating expenses on the income statement. This picture shows the salary by the Petals2U to their employee. We moving on to the transportation expenses. Transportation expenses is called as a variable expenses, whereby the cost that fluctuate depending on the production level or business activity. The Petals2U shop expend to the shipping through Lalamove. This image show the delivery Lalamove rate for any customer who want to deliver their flower. Next is the flower purchase rate. The flower purchase rate is a direct cost of buying fresh flower as a business, and it's present as the cost of the goods sold. So this show the flower purchase rate at the Petals2U shop. Moving on to the Wi-Fi expenses. Wi-Fi is internet expenses that typically fall under the category of the operating expenses or general and administration expenses costs that associate with the day-to-day operation and management of the business. This show the bill of the Wi-Fi at the Petals2U use for the operation management. And then lastly, the equipment expenses. Equipment expenses refer to the tangible, long-term physical asset that used in business to operate and generate income. This item lasts more than 1 year and they are classified as fixed expenses. As you can see, the picture that we put here is the shop Petals2U equipment expenses such as aircon, fan, fridge, and the computer that used for the operation management. Last list in the classification of business item is revenue. Revenue is the income Petals2U earn from the business activities like flower sales, bouquet arrangement, event decoration, delivery, customer orders, corporate contracts, and the sale. It's showing the financial inflow that keeps the business running. There are 6 types of revenue that we found in patent business as its income is by flower sale, bouquet arrangement, event decoration, delivery charges, corporate orders, seasonal sales as income. Revenue is the flower sale. Flower sale are considered as a revenue because revenue is the total amount of the money business bring from the sale if is good or service. Flower business can be profitable because the Petals2U manage it effectively. There are 5 of the flower sale that provided by the Petals2U. The first is hand bouquet, price bouquet, flower pricing, leaf pricing, filler flower pricing. It shows that is the big income for the revenue in the Petals2U. Next is the bouquet arrangement sales. Bouquet arrangement sales are represented as a revenue because the Petals2U provide a bouquet but at the same time as the service. So, bouquet arrangement sale is a pre-arranged bunches of flower wrapped in a paper or decorative mesh often sold for the occasion like birthday, graduation, or Valentine's Day. Flowers tied by a florist into the vase, pot, or buckets ready to be displayed. There's a 2 bouquet service that provided by the Petals2U, which is a fresh flower hand bouquet, chocolate and flower bouquet, lastly bouquet with hot balloon. Next, we move on to the event decoration services. Event decoration services are the most service that generate revenue. When an event decorator, which is Petals2U, will provide design, styling, and setup service for the wedding, corporate event, or private parties. So the total of the money collected from the client from these services is the business revenue. Next is delivery charge. Delivery charge is generally considered as a revenue because they are a part of the core payment for the good or service and must be recorded on the top line of income statement charge, a fee for shipping, handling the money, part of the cost revenue. So this picture shows the delivery rate pricing that the Petals2U set as a charge. Moving on to the corporate order service. Corporate order service generally become a revenue only after the business fulfill the promise obligation, which is delivery the goods or the services. When the corporate order are started, it represent a legally binding commitment to buy. Money received before the work is done is classified as a liability. So the revenue recognized only after the goods delivery or the service is performed. So an order from the corporate order is simply a confirmed contract or commitment, but it doesn't account as official revenue on income statement until the sale is complete. Lastly, in revenue is a seasonal sales income. Seasonal sales income is considered as revenue because any money of business generated primary operation, regardless of whether it's occur year around or only during the specific season, because it represents the total money earned from the selling product before any expenses are subtracted. This income is often referred as the top line of the income statement. So it shows the picture show the seasonal item that is sold by the Petals2U during the seasonal, which is during the Mother's Day and the Valentine's Day.
Hi, my name is Nur Shazani Inani, 2026105213. For this session, I will explain the recording process used in Petals2U business operation. This session covers 3 important areas, which are record keeping, cash inflow and outflow, and invoice management. These processes are important to ensure the business operation runs smoothly, transactions are properly recorded, and financial information can be managed efficiently. For record keeping, Petals2U use a manual inventory record system to manage its stock, flowers, and related items. The business records all inventory activities manually, including stocking, stock out, and remaining stock using written logs or basic record sheets. In this session, I will explain the strengths and weaknesses of both manually and digital inventory record system. Next, I will explain the cash inflow and outflow methods used in Petals2U. There are 2 categories, which are manual payment methods and digital payment methods. For manual transaction, the business accepts cash payment. Cash is simple to use because it does not require internet connection or payment system. For digital transaction, Petals2U can use several payment methods such as QR payment, including Touch and Go, and Do It Now QR, debit and credit cards, FPS, and PayPal. These digital payments methods help make transaction faster, more convenient, and easier to record compared to manual cash transaction. Petals2U use both manual invoice management and the LHDNE invoice system for several reasons. Firstly, manual invoices are still used for daily operations because they are simpler and faster for small or direct transactions, especially for walk-in customers. Secondly, the LHDNE invoice system is used to comply with government requirements. LHDNE invoice is a digital invoicing system that validates every transaction with the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia, ensuring that all records are accurate and officially recognized for tax purposes. Lastly, Petals2U use both systems as a hybrid approach during the transaction period. This helps ensure smooth operation while staff are still adapting to digital system and also reduce the risk of disruption if there are technical issues. So, in short, using both systems helps Petals2U maintain efficiency in daily business while ensuring compliance with tax regulation. For the manual inventory record system, there are several strengths. First, it is low cost because the business does not need to purchase software or device. Second, it is simple to use and does not require technical skills. Besides that, it is easy to set up using books, forms, or printed spreadsheets. It can also function without electricity or internet connection. However, there are also weaknesses. Manual systems are prone to human errors such as mistake in counting or writing. The process is also time-consuming because stock updates and checking are done manually. In addition, it is difficult to track real-time stock levels, and there is a risk of missing or damaged records since paper documents can be misplaced. Besides manual system, there is also a digital inventory record system. The strength of a digital system are that it is fast and efficient because stock updates happen in real time. It is also more accurate and reduces human calculation errors. Business can easily track data and search for items quickly. Furthermore, the system can generate automatic reports such as sales reports, stock levels, and reorder alerts. However, digital systems also have weaknesses. They involve high cost for software, device, and maintenance. Staff members also require training to operate the system effectively. In addition, the business becomes dependent on technology, so system failures or internet problems can disrupt operation. There is also cybersecurity risk if the data is not properly protected. Next, I will explain the cash inflow and outflow methods used in the business. For manual methods, Petals2U accept cash payment. The strength of cash are that there are no transaction fees, no internet or system is required, and payment is received instantly. However, cash transactions also have weaknesses. There is a high risk of human error during counting or recording. Cash can also be lost or stolen easily. Without proper recording, it is difficult to track transactions, and the recording process can be time-consuming. For digital payment methods, Petals2U can use QR payment system such as Touch and Go and Do It Now QR. The strengths are that payments are fast and convenient for a customer. There is no need to handle physical cash, and transactions are recorded automatically for easier tracking. The weaknesses are that the system depends on internet connection, QR scanning may sometimes fail, and customer must have an e-wallet application. Next is debit and credit card payment. The strengths are that card payments are widely accepted and trusted by customers. Customers also tend to spend more because they are not limited by amount of cash they carry. In addition, transactions are more secure due to bank protection system. The weaknesses are that payments depend on network and terminal system. If the internet or system is down, the transaction may fail. Credit card usage may also lead to customer debt issues, and some cards may be rejected because of insufficient funds, expired cards, or bank restrictions. Another payment method is FPS. The strength of FPS are that it is acceptable to most Malaysian bank users, reduces cash handling errors, and allows secure direct bank-to-bank transfers. However, FPS also have weaknesses such as possible transaction failures due to bank downtime, slower payment process compared to QR payments, and the requirement for customer to have internet banking access. Lastly is PayPal. The strength of PayPal are that it is useful for online and international customers. It is secure and trusted global platform, and it can be integrated easily for online orders. The weaknesses are high transaction fees, currency conversion charges, and delay withdrawal because funds may be held temporarily. Lastly, I will explain invoice management in Petals2U. For manual invoice management, the strength are that it is simple and easy to use, does not require software or technical skills, and has low operating costs because only paper or basic templates are needed. It is also flexible because invoice can be created anytime without depending on the system. However, the weaknesses are the high risk of human error, such as incorrect calculation or missing details. Invoice can also be difficult to track and organize because there may be lost or missed places. Besides that, manual invoicing is time-consuming because writing and filling invoice manually takes longer. Petals2U also use a system-based invoice management system, which is an e-invoice system linked to LHDN. The strength of this system are direct compliance with LHDN requirements, easier tracking and retrieval through a searchable database, faster invoice processing, and improved transparency for auditing and financial reporting. However, the weaknesses are dependency on a stable internet and system availability, the need for staff training, and the risk of technical issues or system downtime which may delay invoice processing. That is all for recording process. To conclude our presentations, Petals2U Florist is a sole proprietorship business that offers floral arrangement services such as bouquet for weddings, birthday, corporate events, and other special occasions. The business is managed directly by the owner, allowing for flexible decision-making and personalized customer service. From our findings, Petals2U has a clear structure in terms of income and expenses. The main sources of revenue include bouquet sales, event decorations, corporate orders, and delivery services, while the main expenses involve rental, utilities, salaries, and equipment maintenance. So in terms of operation, the business uses both manually and digital system for record keeping and financial management, which helps support daily activities, although each system has its own limitations and advantages. Overall, Petals2U Florist is a well-managed small business with strong potential for growth and improvement in the future. Lastly, we would like to express our deepest appreciations to our lecturer, Madam Nur Hayati Mohamad, for her guidance throughout this project. We also sincerely thank the owner of Petals2U Florist for their cooperations and willingness to share valuable information with us, not forgetting all group members who have worked hard and contributed equally in completing this project. That is all from our group presentation. We hope you found our presentation informative and meaningful. Thank you very much for your time and kind attention.